Good evening. It's Monday, 21st of November. Time for our news. I'm Konstantinos Tsintas. President Anastasiades and Turkish Cypriot leader Mustafa Akıncı were meeting tonight in the second crucial phase of a second day of negotiations at Mont Pelerin in Switzerland. Ahead of today's talks, focusing on the criteria for territorial adjustments, UN emissary Espen Barth Eider had separate meetings with Anastasiades and Akinci. Anastasiades also conferred with his negotiating team, discussing moves at the meeting which followed, at which the three main criteria were discussed. That is, the ratio of territory each side will control, the number of displaced people who will return to their homes, and the shoreline on which each side will have jurisdiction. There had been no substantial progress on the issue at negotiations during a working dinner last night, as the two sides insisted on their positions. President Anastasiades has made it a condition that broad agreement on the criteria and their application on maps should be achieved before fixing an international multi-party conference to discuss security arrangements. The government spokesman yesterday dismissed reports that the negotiations centered not on their criteria but on the position of Greece regarding a multi-party conference. He said that there had been a very general discussion on their criteria, and that was the reason why there had been no progress. Hundreds of people from both communities rallied at a soccer field in the buffer zone tonight to demand an agreement by the two community leaders negotiating at Mont Pelerin. They responded to a call made by about 120 non-governmental Greek and Turkish Cypriot organizations to gather at the soccer field used by Turkish Cypriot team Çetinkaya between the Ledra Palace Hotel and the medieval walls around the old city of Nicosia. A statement issued by the organizers urged people to take part in force to demand a settlement of the Cyprus issue. The Assize Court sitting in Larnaca today handed down a 20-year jail sentence on Yorgos Xouroupas, aged 40, who had been found guilty of intentional manslaughter on his own admission. Xouroupas admitted killing Panagiotis Christodoulides, 38, during an argument in a nightclub last April. The court did not accept as mitigating factors the fact that he had been provoked by the victim and that he did not have a clear mind at the time because of the use of substances. The sentence was announced during a closed session of the court in the presence only of the daughter of the victim and his two sisters, and also of journalists. The police kept out of the courtroom several other relatives and friends of the victim to avoid a confrontation with the sentenced man. Thousands of people submitted their candidacies today for local authority elections on December 18th. They will be seeking a post either as head of communities or member councils in 487 villages, both in the areas controlled by the government and in the Turkish-occupied territory of Cyprus. The councils consist of the community leader and of between 4 and 8 council members, depending on the population of each community. Meanwhile, the chief of elections at the Ministry of Interior, Dimitris Dimitriou, has said that the electoral service has prepared the ballot papers for the election of about 35 mayors and town councils, also on December 18th. French police said today that they have arrested several men over the weekend foiling a planned terror attack. Interior Minister Bernard Cazeneuve told journalists that 7 people of French, Moroccan and Afghan origin, aged from 29 to 37, were arrested in all, 2 in Marseille and most of the others in Strasbourg, where the European Parliament meets. One of the world's oldest and largest Christmas markets is due to open in Strasbourg on Friday. Cazeneuve did not say what the target of the would-be attackers was. President Anastasiades has expressed his sorrow over the passing last night of the former president of Greece, Kostis Stefanopoulos. He was 90. Anastasiades said in a statement that Stefanopoulos was an example of a dignified man that served public interest. He added that Stefanopoulos had been a noble politician and an example of honesty and integrity during his entire political life. Stefanopoulos died on Sunday night after he was taken to hospital for treatment of a respiratory problem. Taxi drivers stationed at the Larnaca airport today blocked traffic to and out of the airport for 5 minutes, protesting at what they call piracy by non-registered taxis. A spokesman for the airport taxi drivers said that pirate taxis, which operate either with licenses by former taxi owners or permission by the government, take away their business. They claim that among those operating at the airport are Turkish Cypriots, who claim that the government has issued licenses to them to take travellers from the airport to resorts at Ayia Napa, Limassol and even Paphos. Elementary school children at the Hellenion School in Nicosia and their parents today demonstrated outside the school at Central Stasinou Avenue in protest against a decision by the Minister of Education to allow the Academy of Sciences, Education and Arts to use the building. They said that allowing the building to be used as offices by the Academy will change the character of the school, which is situated next to the Ochi entrance into the old city of Nicosia. The Hellenion School is one of the oldest elementary schools operating in Nicosia. In a statement, the parents said that all should respect the special character of the school, at which leading personalities of the political, economic and cultural life of Cyprus were educated. They warned that they intend to climax their protests in case the decision is not withdrawn. That was it for our news. Now I look at the weather. Mostly clear skies are expected tomorrow, albeit with a local high cloud cover at times. Winds will be moderate northeasterly to easterly, force 4, and at times moderate to fresh over windward regions in the afternoon, force 5 to 6. Seas will be generally slight in the west and moderate in all other regions. Temperatures will reach 22 degrees Celsius inland and in coastal districts, and 12 over the mountains. High cloud is expected on Wednesday, but fine weather will follow on Thursday and Friday. The fire hazard does remain high in all forest areas. That's it from us. Join us again tomorrow for more news in English. Have a very good evening.